I'm fine.
One shot Walmart Black Friday deals first. Walmart Plus members get early access to enhanced deals. Join now and get 50% off the Walmart membership. For the deals you desire, join Walmart Plus today and shop Walmart Black Friday deals first.
The Bengals and the boys on a special Monday night. Next, nothing like AD and so one nice thing about Dallas right now, they focus on the short ball and
Go ahead. I gotta put up with this all the time.
On the second night of December 7th game, at Fort James Winston, who first half. The first quarter, I should say.
Welcome everybody. This is Joe Davis, voice of the Ohio State Club Football here at O on the Lane, right here across from the stadium. Tonight we're doing the sports show with the Ohio State Club Football team. Sort of a victory for the season and a kickoff for the national championship game. We got Coach Greg here with me. Give us a synopsis of the season.
Yeah, Joe. So, started the season against Cincinnati United and frankly didn't really know what we had. Cincinnati United really gave us all we could handle. Won that game by 1 point. We learned a lot about ourselves. Learned a lot about our personnel and kind of where our team stood. We made some changes after that game because we felt we did not play nearly our best game. Only winning that game by 1.
I wasn't there, so I understand.
Sure.
You didn't have me to push you on.
Yeah, right. We just didn't feel like we played our best, and we felt there were some areas that we could improve our personnel. So made some changes. Went into Ohio Northern week 2, and I thought we played really well for a half, and then that game got canceled because of poor weather. So, the first 2 weeks of the season, I feel like we didn't really, we didn't really know who we were as a team. We hadn't played a complete game yet.
Right.
And then finally, we get to week 3 against Toledo, and we finally figure out that, we've got a pretty good roster.
And that's the start of the game was fantastic.
Oh, it was. I mean, Jalen returns a kick for us.
Jalen Hurts. Jalen Haley.
Haley returns a kick to start the game, and really kind of set the tone for that game.
Hollywood.
I think we started really hitting our stride as an offense in that game. That was the first of 3 shutouts for us this season defensively. So I feel like that game was really where we started hitting our stride, was against Toledo. My favorite memory of the season so far was week 4 against Wright State. At home, senior night, we had the athletic band there.
Man, that was awesome.
The atmosphere, the most fans.
It was a great atmosphere.
Unbelievable. I mean, the most fans we've ever had at a game in my time as the head coach. So that's my favorite memory from the season is so far is that Wright State game. Just the way we played, the way we executed, and then the atmosphere of that. Just really thrilled with how that game went. And then, we go to Milwaukee after a bye week. We break the NCFA record for points in a game, scoring 91. And that was a really good team bonding experience for us, getting to go play out of state, stay in the hotel, travel, give our guys an experience that not a lot of people get, to travel and play out of state in college football. And then we kind of really hit the meat of our schedule, playing Ohio Wesleyan and then Wittenberg in a span of 6 days.
Right.
Now those are 2 really physical games to play in a span of 6 days for a club football team with a roster of 40, 45 kids. And I thought our kids handled that really well. We lost our quarterback, Nico Pappas.
I didn't really say you started losing some key players.
Yeah, Nico goes down the first drive of the Ohio Wesleyan game, and our new quarterback, Chris Atkins, kind of gets thrown into the fire. And he joined our team just before the Milwaukee game.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
He had been we had recruited him. He had some personal things going on, so he didn't join the team right away in the fall. And right during our bye week before the Milwaukee game, he rejoined the team. And so by the time he got thrust into the Wesleyan game, he'd only been on the team for maybe 2.5, 3 weeks. And so for him to step in, help lead us to victory in that game was huge. And then, 5 days later, having to go and play Wittenberg, which is, when you look across the field and you've got 80 kids and we've got about 35, that's a huge mismatch. And, our kids battled in that game, but, the reality is you're down quite a few in terms of the numbers in that game. But we were up 10-6 at halftime, and I thought our kids really battled. And, unfortunately, we came up short in that one, but we were supposed to play Michigan State. They forfeited.
I was disappointed we didn't get to do that.
I was too. It's a home game we were supposed to have, kind of an extension of our senior day. Frankly, I'm shocked that anyone would forfeit a postseason game with a trophy and spot playoffs on the line. I know we've kind of dominated that matchup in the past, but
turned it down.
Yeah. Frankly, I can't align with that mindset. If I have the players, I'm going to go play the game.
You may not have your starting quarterback. You may not have your best running back.
Yeah,
but
we don't have our starting quarterback. We're down some starters, but we're going out swinging and playing D3 school. So it's all about building a roster. It's all about making sure that you get your players ready each week to go out and compete. So
yeah, because one of your star quarterback was out, and one of your star running backs was not playing toward the end.
And so we
were
don't.
Still working.
Yeah, and so we don't play against Michigan State. We get an extra bye week. So played Coppin State last weekend in the Glass Bowl in the semifinals, and I thought, considering we were off for almost 3 weeks, I thought our kids played really well. I didn't see a lot of rust, which was great. But now this national championship game we've got coming up, it's a real one.
Yes.
Clayton State is
quick.
They're quick. They're fast. They execute at a really high level. Coach Adkins was the head coach at Gordon State 2 years ago when they beat us in the national championship game in 2022. So we know they're well coached. We know they're physical. We know they're fast. It'll be a great challenge for our kids.
I think your team's more physical than they are, but they use their speed to counteract that.
They have unbelievable speed. I mean, athletes all over the field. A great quarterback, Sire Hardaway. He's a little guy, but man, super athletic, super accurate, really talented signal caller. So our defense will have to be ready.
Right. So, any predictions on that game?
Well, I'm not going to give a score prediction. I think the keys for us are, like you said, making sure we're physical, making sure we win the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's the key in any big game. Make sure you win the line of scrimmage. Make sure you're physical. Make sure you play with great intensity. That'll be the key for us to come out on top.
You want to mention any seniors that are just going to be their last?
Quite a few. Zach Davis, our senior right tackle. Jalen Haley, who's had a great year for us as a kick returner and a wide receiver.
AKA Hollywood.
That's right. Christian Allen, one of our starting linebackers. And there's a handful of others, and if I'm afraid I'll miss somebody, but those are the guys. Jonathan Thiel might be his last game as well. We're not sure, but we've got a handful. But those are the guys. Jalen's been around for 4 years. John Thiel's been around for 4 years. Davis and Christian Allen for 3. So we've got a lot of veteran guys on this year. We want to send them out the right way.
How do you pronounce his name?
David Rive.
Yeah. David, but that's all right.
Yeah.
His mother likes how I say his name.
That's good. But no, we've got a lot of Nico may or may not be back next year. We're not sure. We'd love to have him back if he's available.
That'd be great.
But if not, Chris has done a great job in his absence, and Chris is just a freshman. So really excited about the future of the quarterback position for us.
Yeah, because if he came back and you get Chris in the wings again, helping out and learning more, then when he does finally, if he took over the next year, he'd be ready to fly.
No question. They're both great kids. They're both great quarterbacks. And
I thought he did a great job for being a freshman and stepping into the role this year.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Like I said, he joined during our first bye week against before Milwaukee. And for him to step in and play the way he's played, really proud of him, and he's only going to get better.
Got a couple kickers that's going to be taken over for Rive. Muster is one, I think.
Yep, Muster, Liam Ahern as well.
Yeah.
We've got a handful of good options there at kicker. So open competition next year, but we still got one more to go this year.
Sounds good. Anything you want to add about the team?
No, look, I'm really proud. This is, we had to kind of figure out, we had a new identity this year. In prior years, we had kind of been play outside the hashes, kind of a perimeter skill team. And I think this year we've been a little more between the hashes, more power football, and we've had to kind of change our mindset this year. But I think our kids have done a good job of doing that. Hopefully they're ready for Saturday.
You have one of the defensive coaches you want to talk to?
Yeah, I'll send you my defensive coordinator, Dylan Barrett.
I'd like to talk to Phil.
Yeah.
Let him explain to people what it is, what club football is. What is a player freshman coming into school?
Sure.
What's he got to do to be on the football team?
Sure. Well, I'm going to give you Coach Barrett, and then I'll give you John Thiel, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Thanks, Joe.
Are you done eating? Okay. I didn't want to call you over here if you weren't done eating yet.
I was done for a little bit.
You got to put some meat on that bones there, boy.
I need to.
All right. What I wanted you, well, first of all, real quickly, tell the people who you are, where you're from.
My name's John Thiel. I'm from Madeira, Ohio. It's a suburb in Cincinnati. I'm a fifth year in college. I'm ready to get out of here.
And that's Madeira, not Madeira.
Madeira, yeah.
Yeah. I said that on the air one time, and I hope I didn't say it backwards, because I know when you go in, I referee volleyball there a lot, and when you go in there, they're always, how you pronounce that name? Madeira. What I want you to do is, I'm a freshman. I'm going to Ohio State. I played football in high school, and I was pretty good. I'm not good enough to play on the big team, but I'm a pretty good football player. I want to join the club. But what is club? I mean, I want to play football. You just don't go, hey, I want to play on your team. What you got to do to become a club member and keep being a club member? And other than football, tell us about club. What is club football?
So, club football itself, it's all voluntary, right?
What's that?
It's all voluntary.
Okay, yes.
We all want to be here. You have to want to be here. So like I wanted to go play football in college somewhere. When I was a kid, I wanted to come here, play for the varsity team.
Right.
I didn't grow too tall. I didn't have that extra step in my 40, but found club, found Gregor. Gregor reached out to me actually, and I fell in love with it ever since.
You were having a heyday this last season.
Yeah,
man.
it's been a lot of fun. I've been healthy. I've been having fun.
And I mentioned that early on, how you missed almost a whole season one time not being healthy, and then came back, and then this year is like your heyday year.
Yeah, body feels good. I'm doing everything I need to stay healthy. Having a couple extra backs in the running back room helps too.
Right.
That way we're all kind of healthy together.
You were playing with a passion. That's how I kept you on the air. You were playing with a passion, hitting that hole and going places.
I play with emotion. What I tell myself is I have to give my best for everyone else because I expect them to do the same thing for me.
Good. Yeah, you can't expect somebody else to do something that you're going to lay back on. All right, so I'm a freshman. I want to play club football. Who do I contact?
Honestly, anybody within the program. They're just gonna they're gonna lead you back to Gregor and like our Instagram account, and you just DM that, and we'll start getting people set up that way.
Does it cost them to join?
Yeah, so there's a dues that you have to pay at the beginning of the year. That's
you don't have to say what it is. You can just say there are dues.
There are dues. A lot of club teams provide like helmets and stuff like that to their players.
I asked Toledo. Toledo provides helmets.
Yeah, their dues are going to be higher.
Oh,
ours
that's
are
it.
lower.
That's it. Their dues are higher because they're providing the.
Yes.
But where you guys have to buy your own helmet, therefore your dues are going to be less.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So it sort of compensates each other there a little bit.
Yep.
Because I remember when I was talking to, whatever the boy, the boy's name up at Toledo, I can't think of his name.
Dylan.
When I was talking to Dylan and I was asking him this question on the air, and he was saying, yes, our team, and I was shocked because I knew you guys bought your helmets, so I was waiting for him to say, yes, we have to buy our own helmets. He goes, no, ours are provided.
Yeah.
So that explains the difference between the two, because sometimes the big club will sponsor your club to a degree. They'll buy uniforms, they'll do things, but then you guys have to pay dues and come up with other things. What about travel, like when you went to Milwaukee?
So Milwaukee was
Or
a little
Toledo.
bit different. Usually in state and like adjacent state travel
Right.
will just carpool. So like I'll pick up 3 people, including not including myself, and I'll take them there. But with Milwaukee and a big trip like that, we rent.
Next time you pick
15
me up and take.
We got you. We rent 12 to 15 seater passenger vans, and we get everyone up there that way.
Right.
But it's all on the club to provide, the funds for that. So
I enjoyed. We went to every game this year except Milwaukee, and we were planning originally to go to Milwaukee, and then that fell through.
Yeah.
But it's fun following you guys. All your away games. Well, when you're in the state of Ohio, you're not that far away.
It's easy.
So we can get to every game, and the furthest game was Toledo, and man, that's a nice place to play football.
Glass Bowl's a nice
It's a
place.
nice place to do the play-by-play. Heck, we're how many stories high up there.
Yeah, you can see everything.
Your game, we were telling your team, but we couldn't give the other team's numbers because they were white uniforms with yellow numbers. It's like, oh my God, I can't see those.
Yeah, it made it a little tough for you guys.
Oh man, it was really tough. I've been down the field maybe, but not up there. But anyway, I wanted to ask let the people know, because when I say club football to people, they're thinking like, what's that? If you just go to
Like
school.
flag or 2-hand touch
Right,
or stuff like
something
that.
like that, or,
it's
you know,
not. It's 11-on-11
It's almost
full
like
tackle
the Z
football.
type of thing,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, it's not that. It's serious, and you got to earn your spot, and it's more than it's almost like minor league football for the big team in a sense,
Honestly, I mean, with club, it is what you put in. Like,
Right.
you can come 1 to 2 practices a week, show up for the game, and that's about it. Or you can put your heart into it, which is what I do.
You can tell.
I have school and I have football, and that's what I do, and I love it. So if you're gonna put all you can into it, it's gonna give you that much more back.
Well, I know your family was into it. Your dad was on the staff, and I went down and talked to your mom and your stepmom one day.
I don't have a stepmom.
Okay, sorry.
Might have been my sister.
Might have been your sister. 2 women down there.
Yeah.
Like it probably was your sister. Your mom turned around and said, which Rick could hear, "Oh, I love your voice." And I looked and Rick could hear it. He's up there shaking his head. No.
Nice.
But no, I love that. I love doing your games.
Yeah, we love having you guys. You guys are awesome.
Now remember, when you get your practice going and you're going to build the clubhouse, it's going to be named after Coach Grega. But up on top, where the sportscasters are, just that area,
The box.
the press box, will be the Joe Davis voice of the Ohio State Club football.
What about that guy?
Nah, he's nothing.
I know you guys have a fun relationship.
We
You like
do,
to,
yeah.
you guys like to mess with each
We like
other
to
up there.
jab with each other.
That's good. It makes it more interesting.
It is. It's fun to do.
Nice.
And we drive to and from the game.
Nice.
Pick on each other.
Nice. That makes it that much more fun. I'm
It
sure.
does. So, who's the next coach coming up here? We'll go ahead and get him.
I can go ahead and grab somebody else for
He
you.
told me he was sending one. May have him ready.
I'll go get someone for you.
What's the name? Everyone come.
Beer?
Yeah.
Baron, are you going? I'm going.
Okay.
Baron's going.
Baron?
Dylan Baron.
Oh, Dylan.
It's a tough guy to follow up. First down,
I just flew in today, so I'm a little tired.
Your arms tired?
Arms, yeah, all that flapping.
Dylan just flew in. He said his arms are really tired
They
from
are
flying
sore.
in today.
They are sore.
Basically, that headwind. Your nose is a little red.
It is, yeah. It's cold up there.
All right, Dylan, tell them who you are and where you're from.
Should I look anywhere?
No, right there's the camera.
Hi everyone, my name is Dylan Barron. I'm the assistant head coach and defensive coordinator for this great team, and I've been on.
professionally eventually, right?
Well, if I do, I'm learning from the best over there. That's for sure. But yeah, I was a player for 5 years on the team, and I've been a coach since 2019. I took a year off for COVID to coach high school down in Miami, Florida, and but I absolutely love it. I commute from
Well, I
down
remember
there.
your name from when you played, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah?
And then you became a coach. And then I was thinking you were still on the team for a minute.
Oh, no.
And I go, I thought he was injured. Why isn't he dressed, you know?
He is way too slow to play any reps here.
So, and what is your job on the team? Other than the name, what do you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I get the okay from the head guy, from Grega, and we coordinate how practice is going to go. So we set an itinerary for every coach, for every player, as to what they're going to be doing when. We want to make sure that with the limited time and resources we have, that we maximize it as much as humanly possible. So when you're talking only 6 hours a week of on-field practices, and only 4 of that with pads on.
And you guys look as sharp as you look. It's amazing.
I appreciate that, yeah, and it's a lot of work, and we put a lot of work on the kids too. You know, they don't get credit hours for taking this class, but realistically, it's like a 6-7 credit hour class.
Well, a couple years ago, you had a running back, wide receiver, or a defensive back. I don't know if he was running back or wide receiver, but he played both, and he was like the best in the league on both spots. And the name's right there.
Chris Booker? Is that no?
And but he was asked to try out for the major team.
You're referring to the wide receiver DB Casey Scroggins.
Yes, Casey Scroggins.
Casey Scroggins is a
He was unbelievable player when I was doing him up there. I mean, you could tell he just stood out hands above everybody on the field, either team. And he was asked, but he said no because his studies came first. That's why he played club, where he could play football, have fun, and yet get his studies.
Yeah.
And that was I commended him for that.
Yeah, and we were incredibly grateful for the opportunity. Obviously, whenever anyone wants to walk on, we want them to be able to pursue their dream. Right. Because a lot of people come here with that dream in mind. But for Casey, he was so valuable to our team. He won us a championship in 2019 and 2021, and it is a team effort, but it would have been very tough to do it without him.
I tell you what, you're right. It's a team effort. And you may have still did it, but it wouldn't have been seem as easy as it was.
It never feels easy, let me tell you.
I mean, he was just unbelievably on both. Knocking passes down or intercept. I mean, he would be 20 yards away, and here comes the pass, and the next thing you know, he's blowing it up or actually intercepting it or something.
Yeah, ball skills were very good.
It's unbelievable where he'd be, and then the same thing on offense, how he'd be wide open on play,
Oh yeah, he's a great athlete, and Grega has a wicked scheme too, and these teams just aren't ready for it. He runs it at a very high level. It's a collegiate caliber.
Where are you from again?
I'm from Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida. That's where you just were?
That's where I just was.
I
came back to this. That's how much I love this.
I'm so sorry for that. I'm getting ready to go down to South Carolina where it's warmer.
Oh, there you go.
My daughter's
Hilton Head or what?
No, Charleston, but Somerville, which is a suburb.
Yeah.
And my daughter, who lives in Somerville, is a nurse. And I called her yesterday, and she was like, when I called her, she didn't answer. And then a little while later, she called me back. She goes, well, I was on the beach with my puppy. I go, I come down, and you won't take me to the beach, but you take your dog to the beach.
You get to go to the football field every week. Nothing better than that.
That's it. So anyway, but I get to go down for a couple weeks in some warmer weather.
Warmer weather's coming soon for me too. Sunday I fly back down, so I'm up here for one job and one job only. And a lot of these coaches, players share that same passion, and that is to win the whole thing.
So congratulations. John.
This is cool. This was last night's
Never coach. I'm not kicking you out or anything. No, I'm just getting one ready.
Okay.
Ben,
I
still
can
talking to you? No, I'm still talking to you. Who's going to come? All right. Come on over. Nice meeting you.
Great to meet you.
I've seen you. I just met you before. I've seen you
sir.
a year.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on doing a good job coming up.
Yeah.
Let's win it.
Talked about a bye week coming up for the Broncos. It's the latest that any team can have a bye, week 14.
We need the music. Hey Rick, do you have that music? Hollywood, da 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 Hollywood. There we got Jalen Haley, a.k.a. Hollywood, a.k.a. Jalen Hurts. He goes by everything, I tell you.
Good evening, everybody.
So, how'd your season go? How'd your career go? I mean, how many years you been here?
4 years. This is my fourth year. Okay. Yeah, we've done all 4. And honestly, I'd say career-wise, I've accomplished more than I ever thought that I ever could before I stepped out here in 2021 and decided to join the team, honestly. And then I think this season has exceeded my expectations. I haven't performed, I guess, as well as I thought, or as well as I wanted, but I think I've took a step up.
Yeah, well, you may have set your goal here, and you may be here, but as far as we're concerned, you're still up here.
Yeah.
You're still Hollywood.
Yeah, and I think I did, but I think what I've taken out of this is like, so our wide receiver group, we call them the 7s, and like those are my guys, and just being there as like a big brother and like helping them on and off the field has meant way more than any stat could ever mean at the end of the game.
And that's a great stat for a senior. Jonathan, I think, does that as the running back. You're doing, and he's a senior. You're doing that. You can tell you're working with the other guys. When you're not on the field, you're not just walking over and sitting down and forgetting about it. You're helping out the next guy in, and they appreciate that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the biggest thing is to leave the team, leave the club in a better position than you found it, and I think we've done that. Me, Jonathan, and Redmond, the seniors of the team, that played since 21. I think that we are leaving this program way better than we found it, and then in hopes that these next guys are just continuing the tradition on.
What's been your biggest personal highlight of this year?
It has to be housing the opening kickoff, right? So yeah, it has to. I think
one or two.
I lost count. Honestly, I think.
I mean, both of them that I remember in Toledo, man.
Yeah.
Except there was a difference. One was on this side of the field, and one was on this side of the field.
We put sides. I will honestly say, because Coppin State low-key, because before the kick, I literally was like, as the game was going, warming up, I'm like, I'm feeling it. And then I'm about to feel this one. And then I told my photographer, Scott Mayberry, as I'm heading off the field, I'm like, yo, meet me in the end zone. And he's like, well, I said, meet me in the end zone. And as that kick came up, it was in the air, and it like came short. And I was like, 3 things. It's how they're going to take a bounce out of bounds, a bad bounce behind me, or it's going to bounce right to me. And it bounced right to me, and then the rest is history. But I think the best thing of that kick is not how we executed it, but if I watched it like on the live stream, and then Mike, one of our dudes that takes film, like just hearing the live reaction of everyone on the sideline.
Oh man, that was fantastic. Yeah.
That cold chills. So that has to be my favorite play of the season.
Now, for a non-football player, when are you deciding where you're going? Have you already talked to the players ahead of you, the blockers? Hey, I'm going right, I'm going left, or is it all depending on where the kick is, and then when you catch it and look up where the blocks are? When do you make that decision where you're going?
That's the biggest thing of like kickoff, like kick returning and punt returning, is it's so indistinctive. Like, so we'll say like, oh, I can't give out too much.
Where the plan is to maybe be something different.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll say the plan, right? And then when you kick it, everything just goes to whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, especially once it hits the ground a lot of times.
Yes.
Guys come a little further, and they actually outrun. So if you get by the first group, you may have it made because they've outran you.
It's just it's an instinctive position to play returner. I think that's why you don't see, I mean, Tyreek Hill's a great athlete, but you don't always see your fastest guys or whoever it is always returning the ball, because though I'm not as fast as I was in 21, right, I put on a couple pounds, I'm still like the instinct and just making moves and getting to where I need to be, I feel like hasn't changed throughout that time.
Now, what was the difference between the first one against Toledo and the second one against Coppin? It's Coppin State.
I don't know, because Toledo one, I said the same thing. I was like, so what had happened was the announcers are calling out everybody's names. There was like, with a kicker or whatever, and then there was like back deep for Ohio State, number 1. And I was waiting for them to say my name. And then they didn't say it, and it just like, I literally was telling our 2 front guys, John and Luke, I was like, I'm taking this. I was like, I'm taking it. They're like, I'm taking it. And you can see us on film talking. I'm like, I'm taking this back. And then I went and tried to catch it, and I slid, dropped it. I'm like, oh, picked it up, and then whatever.
And again, those are the times when you have the run back.
Yeah.
It's not when you catch it and go. It's always the ball's bobbled a little bit, picked up, and the defense gets down. 10 yards further than they normally do. And if you can get by with a couple blocks that first group, it's all yours then.
We
and
say
your speed,
we're
boom.
going to the apartments.
Hollywood took over.
We're going to the apartments.
What's been your highlight? Forget that. What's been the highlight of your career? Looking back, you're graduating. What are you going to look back on all 4 years and remember? Other than the two. And that's going to be hard not to remember those two.
Yeah, I mean, so I've had accolades of All-Americans and leading the team in rushing yards and, making switches to wide receiver.
Yeah, every game I've done, you've had accolades.
But I think, honestly, I'm going to miss, I'm going to remember the most is, the relationships I've made. Right. I know it might sound.
Right.
Yeah, but, literally, because at the end of the day, we're coming out here, we're paying to play. You know what I mean? We don't have all the resources that other teams have, right? These NCAA-funded programs.
Now, you're a senior. You got other seniors you're friends with. A lot of them are graduating. Mm-hmm. How many guys have graduated before you that still keep in contact with the team?
Tons. You see him coming on the sidelines. Jordan Griffin, Kellen Garrison, Spencer Moore has been at most of our games this year.
Right.
His name's Casey.
I've seen a lot of them myself. Yeah. Up there, I can look down and see them.
And you know what I mean? It means that much for guys to travel to come to a home game and just be a part of it because literally it's a brotherhood.
Where are you from?
Zanesville, Ohio.
Zanesville, the bridge.
Yes, the Y Bridge.
Is there anything more important? I mean, more famous about Zanesville than the bridge? I do that in the play-by-play sometimes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I think you hit it on the head. The Y Bridge. That's what we're known for.
How far south of that is Columbus? 35, 40 minutes?
It depends how I'm driving.
It depends. Yes.
Yeah.
And traffic.
Yeah, right. Traffic. Yeah. My mom's watching. It depends on traffic. But 45.
Yeah, don't listen to this, Mom.
45, 50 minutes there on the east, 70 east.
See, we're going this way, not that way, so.
70 east.
Rick, what was that school you guys did the volleyball game at? The last one. They lost. Miami Trace lost.
These guys are best friends.
Where?
I'm not familiar.
Oh, no. That's not the name of the school. Sheridan.
Oh, yeah, Sheridan. Okay.
That's sort of. You're still a little south of you, I think.
Yeah.
So see, when we go that way to Sheridan. Mm-hmm. You guys are going up and down north and south.
Yeah,
but,
Sheridan
they're going
somewhere.
to Columbus that way.
Yeah,
that's closer to where you're from.
Yeah. I think also with this season, and I want to say this, we've took a big part of broadcasting our team a lot. So whether it's making TikToks, doing some more day in the life things, and it has really brought eyes onto our program and the club program in general. So I think also I'm really proud of that. It's branching yourself out there because to a lot of people it's just club and they might not care, but to us it means everything.
And that's what I was getting Jonathan over here to explain what club is. Club is more than not calisthenics. What's that? If you go to college and just
intramural.
Intramural. That's the word I was looking for. It's not intramural. People think, oh, it's intramural. It is not intramural.
It's a series. Yeah, it's a series. You can make it.
You got to pay dues. You got to pay for your helmet. It's very
traveling.
Serious. And you travel. It's not like going to school and having recess.
Yeah.
Like intramural is almost like recess for college.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I speak for myself and I can speak for one of our QBs that's with the Buffalo Bills right now working, that this saved my life. It wasn't just intramural, it was an opportunity to continue playing football, have something to work for, keep me engaged, and then create a community outside of my Army life and my school life and my teammates and stay engaged, stay competing at a pretty decently high level.
So where are you going to be in the next 2 to 3 years?
It changed.
It just changed?
Yeah, it changed as of recently. I got
married? No, wait.
I wish. No, I don't know. I don't know why I said that. No, yeah. It's up in the realm right now, honestly. From when we had our senior night to now, it's up in the realm. But I know that with my hard work, my family, my friends, God, everything will work out. So I'm kind of just before it was
wherever
always
you
with
go, I know dedicated you are to this. If you put yourself into that, whatever you're going into, you will be very successful. I guarantee you.
I appreciate that.
Especially with that smile. Look at that camera and smile and tell people, yeah.
I'm blushing. I want you guys at home to know that these guys come out here on their own dime. For the past 4 years I've been here, and even before, to record our games, commentate our games, and broadcast it to people at home who can't see it. So, like, you guys mean so much to us, right? I have cousins that are in bad predicaments right now that are able to watch me because of what you guys do, and without that, like, obviously they wouldn't be able to. So it literally means everything. So from me and mines and my family, my friends, and everyone else,
Are you
thank
help
you.
recruiting any new players?
Of course.
Of course.
That's what we're doing the TikTok.
You got to
thing,
go
of
back
course.
to your home school and talk up in your league. You know, get school teams from in your league. To, hey, go up to Ohio State and play on the club team.
Yeah.
Try to be as good as I was.
Some of them doing their thing, but yeah, club football, whether it's at OSU, I'm not gonna name anywhere else. OSU, come out if you think you have what it takes and you want to still compete and you have an itch. Like, I brought Charlie together this year, Ben Spencer over there. We played our first year together. One of my college best friends. Come out here and play and compete. Have fun.
Congratulations. Nice meeting you. I'm glad I tell you what, I'm glad you've been part of my life in the last 4 years. You're a great guy to be around.
Thank you, boss man.
Hollywood, Jalen. Haley.
Jalen Haley. Thank you, guys.
We got anybody else, or are we done?
Third down, floating, Sutton, got it, first down.
All right, Joe, I think this is a wrap.
I think we're going to call it a
for
wrap.
this season. We wish the Buckeyes all the success and luck here
Everybody
in this
coming
game. You're gonna anyway, in the upcoming game in Pennsylvania,
December 7th.
they're going to have a big challenge. This Georgia team is the fastest team that I've seen so far this year.
I think
that the Buckeyes
are more talented, but the other team is very, very quick.
I think it's going to come back to the coaching. Probably is going to be the difference in the game.
And they're both great coaches.
That's right, and they
We
both
got
have great.
Two of the
coaching
best
staffs.
coaches in club football are that probably both coaches could go into the college football ranks somewhere and coach a team.
Right. So once again, we want to thank the O on Lane for helping us bring the sports show this year.
Thanks, Ed.
Second year we've done this. We hope there'll be many years after.
Thanks to your daughter, she was very helpful today.
That's right. That's right. So anyway, for Rick Phillips and Joe Davis, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Go Buckeyes.